Hello and welcome to our messy Monday morning. Typically, Sundays are a busy day for us. We don't spend a lot of the time at our house, and we often have friends over to play. And then we have evening church, and so the house usually ends up looking like this by Monday morning. I like to take some time to tidy up a little bit before we start school. But I had a kid awake earlier this morning. He went to play basketball with his daddy at the rec center, and so he was trying to get his schoolwork finished early so that he could be done for the day. After I finished helping him, I went ahead and vacuumed the floor up in our schoolroom. The kids did some crafting and some cutting, and the floor just really needed to be vacuumed, and I never got around to doing it before Monday morning, so I finished that before we started school because I knew I would not be able to focus on getting school done if the floor was a mess. Alright, I am getting our papers out for today. This is week 3 of school. Thought I would show you my system for organizing some of the paperwork that we're doing. In this box here, I've got file folders. I labeled them weeks 1 through 34 because that's how many weeks are in the curriculum that we're using. And then I took the student sheets. This is from my Father's World. This is Adventures in U.S. History, and I ordered a set of student sheets for each of my kids, which is 4 students, and then I just separated them by weeks, and I have them each in the week that we need them. So today is week 3, and it's Monday, and so I know that we will need these sheets for today. There's just 4 of them, and that's all that's in this week. There's no other student sheets in here for week 3 but these ones, so that makes it easy for me to organize them and keep track of them. I also have a file folder here that's got all of our timeline sheets in it, and we need to cut some of those out also. So we did not do that this last week, so I will take those out as well, and the kids can catch up on their timelines. And then back here in the back, I've got just one extra file folder, and this is where I've got all of our other things. So I've got our Where Faith Grows in here. This is a week's, or a lesson, I guess. This is lesson 11, a lesson worth of pages. And what I did this year, instead of printing everything out for the entire book and then spiral binding it, I actually decided to print off each book, which I didn't do the entire thing, and then I separated them into lessons for each student, and I stapled those sheets together, and this actually has made it really easy. We just finish one packet and then I hand the next one out to the students. I did that with Where Faith Grows, so I've got weeks 11, or lesson 11, and this is lesson 12. So they've each got their own little packet for each lesson. It just helps. Our table's not huge, and it just becomes a lot when you've got all the books and all the pages out on the table. So that is for Where Faith Grows. And then I also have all of our science pages in here, and I did the same thing with science this year. I went ahead and purchased the Adventures on Planet Earth book, and I'm just printing them out a week at a time. I've got several weeks here, but I'm stapling them a week at a time. So this is for week 3. And we do not do a full week in a week, so it'll take us a little while to get through this unless we do a couple extra pages, which I may try to do that to get us caught up and just stay. This is a super quick and easy. It is not a lot for each day, so we probably would be fine to do a couple days at a time. But anyway, each student has 1 week in each little bundle. So these are all for week 3, and then we move on to week 4. And then 5 and 6 and so forth. So this is how I'm keeping everything organized, all of my paperwork in here. And then as I run out of packets for our Where Faith Grows or for our science, I will just print more off and stick them in this file folder. But I thought I would show you how I'm organizing all of my student sheets for my Father's World for 4 students this year. I also wanted to give you a little glimpse of the McGuffies readers. Another really great resource for these is Sherry Hayes at Mom Delights, and I will link her channel in my description box. But she is actually who encouraged me to use these in my homeschool. She uses these as her language arts curriculum, especially for younger grades, and even into high school the kids move up in these levels. But these books are so sweet. They have some really good stories and information, encouragement in them for children. And this book here is the Eclectic Primer. This is what my second grader and my fourth grader are reading through. My fourth grader has had a slow start with reading. It has been a struggle for him because he's got some dyslexia and he's a boy. And so boys tend to take their time with these things, and it's better to wait until they are ready. And so he is reading through this lesson here, and this is one lesson. This is lesson 6, and he read this to me today, and then he also read this page to me today. And that's all the reading that he did for today out of the McGuffey Reader. I'm using this only as a reader for him and for my second grader. He does language arts separately with master books, and then he also has dyslexia games. But in his language arts that he did separately, he did his spelling words that he reads, spells out loud, and writes. And then he also had to write a sentence of what he would do if he lived in a garden. And so he already did some other reading and writing things. And then this is just reading practice for him. So that's one lesson. It is very short and sweet. Not a ton. It is not overwhelming at all, as long as it's the right level. We tried to start on the level up from this, and it was too difficult for him. It was very overwhelming. Just resulted in tears, and he was not ready for it. So we went back. My second grader, she has picked up reading so well. I have not had to do much to teach her, but she's a little farther on in the book. She's at lesson, whatever this is, 25, I think. And she reads to me each individual word, and then she will read me the story, which this page is just these words and this story. So that's a pretty simple and quick one for her. Now, if you go to Mom Delights, you will see how she has lots of videos on the McGuffey Readers teaching how to use them for spelling words and copy work and all sorts of things. I have done that in the past, and these individual words here are great to use for spelling words. You could have them read this. You could have them write out these words for their spelling words every day. You could have them do some copy work. You know, the first day they read the lesson. The second day they do the spelling words. The third day they could do some copy work. And then move on to the next lesson the next week after that. But just a real gentle introduction to language, to spelling, and to reading that is not overwhelming for the kids. I have really, really enjoyed using these. I do wish I would have found them earlier and used them earlier in my homeschool. I think they would have been great for that. But there's a little overview of the Pictorial Eclectic Primer from the McGuffey series. We are getting towards the end of the month. I guess it's only the 19th today, but when I went grocery shopping last month, it was like the last week of July. So it's been almost a week. Kyla, your bagel it's been almost a month since we grocery shopped. And so our normal things we like to eat are running out, and we're kind of stuck with like the bagels that are in the freezer, the yogurt that I make, and the kids are running out of the good kind of cereal that they like. We brought this home yesterday from the church. Someone had dropped off a bunch of food bank food, and we brought some of it home. Clayton brought those home. But Crispin's gonna have those for breakfast this morning. And I'm gonna have to start just making some stuff for breakfast. The kids are getting tired of eating bagels. They've been eating bagels a lot because we had them. They're easy for them to make on their own. And so they've been eating those a lot, but they're kind of getting tired of them. I did make a little menu yesterday for us for the week. And I put this together, and then I just kind of make what I want to make off of it. I don't always go with each day specifically, but like this is for today. I had wrote baked oatmeal on here. I didn't make baked oatmeal this morning, but I may make it a different day because the kids had bagels today. So maybe tomorrow I can do the baked oatmeal. We're gonna have chicken legs and tater tots, hamburgers for dinner. Tomorrow we're gonna go to the zoo for a field trip, and we're gonna have sweet and sour beef with rice. I need to make enough rice for fried rice the next day. And then I just write down some things that we have. But we are just kind of running out of our normal stuff we like to eat. And so it's making it a little more difficult for the kids to get their own breakfasts and stuff. But I'll start trying to make some things. Maybe I'll do a little bit of baking this afternoon or something to get a little stock up so that they, or maybe I should dig through my freezer and see what I find in there. But that way the kids have some easier things to eat for breakfast.
You gotta shut off the light.
Just wait, I want to see it in the light. So some kids from church, some of the kids' friends from church, made some of the kids these really neat 3D printed dragons. And this one is a glow-in-the-dark. Kindon wants us to see it. Come in the bathroom where it's all the way dark. Whoa, nice. That's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, is yours the only one that's glow-in-the-dark?
Well, yeah, only one in our family. Chloe has that one glows in the dark.
Hers glows in the dark too? Those are so cool. I like them.
Thanks.
Are we ready? Okay, ready? Yeah. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and who is to come. Revelation 4:8. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and who is to come. Revelation 4:8.
Encouraging others.
Good. Encourage is a big word. Do you know what it means?
It means like whenever somebody's downhearted and they're like all sad, you seem like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Okay, we are working on science right now, and I thought I would show you how I'm making this work with multiple children. We are doing Master Books Adventures on Planet Earth. This is level 3. And right now we're doing a notebooking page for our science notebooks about permafrost. Yep. So everyone is coloring and drawing a picture of permafrost. And then they're going to do some copy work also. So we have permafrost is ground that is permanently frozen. Colossians 3:13, forgive just as the Lord forgave you. Clayton, who is my kindergartner, he's going to just write the first word, permafrost, on his notebooking page. And then I have a second grader. She's going to write the first sentence within this square. Permafrost is ground that is permanently frozen. And then my 4th grader and my 5th grader are going to copy the entire board, which is 2 sentences worth of words onto their notebooking page. So they also do other copy work in their other schoolwork. So I feel like this is a good amount for them for science, and it helps us to be able to use this curriculum with multiple ages. Everyone is learning and doing work at their own level. All right, it is lunchtime here. And I think almost everyone is done with their school. We're having, my honey and I are having steak and tater tots. And we also have chicken legs with barbecue on top. And then a jar of applesauce for the kids. About 3 o'clock now, and most of the kids are outside. I too am going to go outside, but first I'm going to make an iced coffee and I'm going to go outside. It's not super hot out there, It's only supposed to be in the 80s this whole week.
85.
85 out there, so not too bad, especially when you're in the shade. But it is only supposed to be in the 80s all week, and then next week it's supposed to get hot again.
We both touch it.
It is dinner time now, and I am working on dinner. I just have some leftover spaghetti on the stove that I'm warming up for the kids to eat. My husband's got ice cream in the freezer that he made yesterday, and I'm getting ready to make myself some ice cream that I can have for my dinner. So thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. If you have any questions for me for my upcoming Q&A at the end of the month, make sure you leave them down in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.